Hi, I'm Phil Doye. I'm CEO of boxxe. I'm here to give you my 3 key insights into making technology human during lockdown. So like everyone else, clearly the lockdown has created a huge amount of change for our own business. And I think the first thing I would say when you ask that question is it's given us a real challenge to adapt to change. I think for all of us, we've been faced with a situation that is just different from any situation we've faced before. And as a business at boxxe, we're no different. The difference between coming into March and then hitting lockdown and coming out of it, we've had to really look at how we do business, how we engage with our people, how we engage with our customers, how we do things that previously were always done in an office environment, how do we do those remotely? So I think the adapting to change has been probably initially the biggest change. But I think then secondly, that it's given us an opportunity to reinvent ourselves. I think if someone had said to us that you're going to have this opportunity to do things differently in an environment where everything kind of gets put on hold or gets challenged, I think we would have kind of think, well, that can't be possible. It always feels like you've got to make changes almost while you're in a moving vehicle. But during this period, it's really given us a chance to look at the way that we work, the way that our people work, and the way that our customers want to work with us, and make some significant changes to the way that we do business. And I think that as we've done that and as we've gone through this 6 months, that opportunity has become bigger. I think we've seen the advantages of working from anywhere. We've seen the advantages of being able to take time and evaluate some things that maybe we wouldn't have done otherwise. And we found that really, really useful. And I think finally, I would say that it's given us an opportunity to really leverage the power of digital transformation in our own business. boxxe talks a lot about digital transformation. The industry uses it, and it's become, probably in some respects a misunderstood buzzword. But I think for us, what we've been able to do is look at new technology, look at the way we can digitize things, look at the way we implement and adopt new technology to make us more effective. And I think there's no question that these last 6 months, boxxe has emerged from it as a more digitally transformed organisation. And I think that has benefits for our customers, that has benefits for our people, and it certainly has long-term benefits for boxxe itself. So the obvious answer to the question, what's the biggest obstacle, is just moving from a predominantly office-based environment to one which is fully remote. To look at things that previously we felt had to be done in person to being done from anywhere, to be done remotely. And like all businesses, there was a huge initial rush and a kind of shock that we've just got to get this done. But I think within a couple of weeks, as we realised that actually we had been able to transfer from working in the office to working remotely, I think we were faced with probably an even bigger obstacle, which is how do we create an organisation that allows those people that previously worked in an office to work from anywhere and really continue to feel like they're being developed, for them to continually feel like they're being part of this organisation, and actually to feel like they are impacting it and influencing it in a way that they maybe were able to do previously. And as we think about that, it just was really hard. we did things that made people feel connected to the business. But actually, in order for people to feel like they're able to make a big contribution when they're not in the office, how do we deal with that? During the last 6 months, I think we've now taken on 25 people that through this, people that have never been into the office, people that have never physically met their teammates, their colleagues, and how have we created something that have allowed those 20 people to join a business, and not in a negative way, but to join the business and feel like they can contribute from day one, that they can get to know the business, that they can understand how boxxe works, how we do things. And that is definitely a big challenge. And how we overcome that really defines how successful we come out of this whole pandemic period. I think one thing during this time, early in the pandemic, it was Sarah Hetherington, our head of people, who said that we're all in the same storm, but we don't all experience it in the same boat. And that really struck me, that actually this period is different and unique for each one of us. So it's not really a case of being able to say, well, this is kind of a one size fits all, and if we do this, then we can keep all of our people engaged and motivated, because that doesn't really work. So clearly what we have done is done a lot of the things that other companies have done. We've introduced more kind of social events like quizzes. We've tried to increase our level of communication, and that's been really helpful. One thing that we've definitely done, which is really interesting, is just ensure that our managers are having really regular team meetings by video, and also having good one-to-one time with the people in their team. And I think what's really interesting about that is that as a manager, when you're in the office and you speak to people one-to-one, generally it's in the context of other people being around, that they can hear what you're saying. Whereas when you have a one-to-one on a video conference, it's always private. So I think that just the ability for managers to be able to understand the individual, I suppose, challenges, concerns, ambitions of their individual team has really been improved through this period, because almost by default, when they speak to people one-to-one, it's a much more private situation, and they can discuss things that maybe they wouldn't discuss otherwise. Now, of course, for our managers, maybe that's made them a little bit more tired. It's maybe created more of a workload, but certainly I think just because we're apart, we've made more of an effort to be together, and more of an effort to make sure we are connected. And I think we've all just benefited hugely from video conferencing, from the various platforms that we can use. Even 6 months ago, when we first started this, the idea that getting used to seeing yourself on screen and maybe feeling a little bit self-conscious has kind of gone away. I'm not saying we've all reached the kind of standard of professional YouTubers, but I think we all feel comfortable about being on video. Even to the point where last week someone said to me, "Can we have a call? An audio call?" And I'm like, "Well, actually, with a telephone, we speak without seeing one another." And it was almost, I think it's almost become more strange to have a call where you don't see someone, to have a call where you do see someone. So that I think is just, we may be apart, but actually technology allows us to be together. And I think when boxxe talks about making technology human, we can definitely point to the interaction we have with each other over things like Teams or Zoom or whatever platform we choose to use. And that's really helpful. And I think, as people like Microsoft and Zoom begin to introduce new features, it makes that interaction more personal. It makes that interaction more effective. It allows us to use perhaps tools that we previously felt were the domain of the physical office and start to utilize them online. And I think that's how we've done it. We've not been successful in everything. We haven't got everything right, and I'm sure it will be an ongoing challenge for us. But we feel that's been useful for us.
Hi, my name is Joel Bowitz. I'm the Chief Revenue Officer here at boxxe. I think that the pandemic offers us a growth opportunity. I could probably split it down into three distinct areas. The first is, we know that in the current climate, our customers are going to want to interact with us from a digital perspective. And so our opportunity, like most organizations at the moment, is to rethink the way in which we deliver some of the services and solutions and information that our customers are asking for via a digital method. So we're making investments into digital platforms to allow our customers not only to buy from us, but to interact with us in a way in which, say, for example, before they would have had to speak to someone about information regarding maybe a software renewal or something to do with a managed services contract, that they can grab that information on demand from a platform that we provide them. The second one is to make sure that when we are marketing and the messaging that we're taking to our customers is very focused. And I think for us, the opportunity really comes from making sure that we're delivering an outcome-based approach to a specific persona within a specific market. So we have a big focus internally on building our corporate business. So how do we make sure that every vertical that we target within our corporate sector, there is a specific outcome based on that person's core motivations, whether that might be a COO, a CFO, or even the CEO. And then thirdly, I think from our side, what we've decided to have a core focus on automation. And in fact, I think that the term that Gartner are currently using is hyper-automation, because they know that in the current climate, organizations need to make sure that all of the processes that are either internal or in front of their customers are optimized and made as efficient as possible. And therefore that means trying to understand what those processes are and ensuring that whatever method or technology you're going to use in order to gain benefit and efficiency and save costs from that process, it becomes a huge opportunity for organizations like boxxe to help our customers drill into those processes, make sure that they pick the right technologies, and make sure that we automate as much as possible from the outset. And that might be in terms of either RPA, robotic process automation, where we're layering on automation on top of legacy systems, or it might be rethinking the application environment and rebuilding an application estate so that it has automation built in at its core. But I think if you think about the digital transformation that boxxe are going through internally to help our customers automate their processes of interacting with us, to take away the admin headache from ourselves, we want to do exactly the same for our customers. And we believe that the opportunity there lies in helping them to make the most of the automation technologies that are in the market today.
So to wrap up, I'd like to thank you for watching. This pandemic has seen an increase in collaboration. And certainly, as I close, I'd like to thank Agilitas, who over the last 6 months we've been able to see real collaboration with and enjoyed working with them as a partner. boxxe was reborn in a pandemic, and I'd like to encourage you to go to boxxe.com or look at our LinkedIn profile and see how we have digitally transformed. Thank you.